Aliens mock human legends, until one of them sees the evidence. Across the stars, humanity's ancient legends were mocked as superstition, tales of angels, demons, and forgotten gods. But when one alien soldier uncovers proof that those myths were real, the galaxy learns a truth too bright to ignore. The Galactic War College of Dareth Prime had seen many species pass through its shining halls. The proud Tarsari, with their crystalline eyes and cold logic. The brutal Kurthak, born in molten swamps and bred for war. And now, humans. A young lieutenant named Aaron Vale had joined the interspecies exchange program, her assignment simple: observe, learn, and represent humanity among the brightest minds in the galaxy. She did so quietly, until a single afternoon lecture shattered the calm facade. Today's lesson, announced Professor Korvath, an eight-eyed instructor from the Valor Dominion, concerns primitive mythologies, irrational stories told by lesser species to explain what they could not understand. The holodisplay flickered, filling the room with ancient symbols: dragons, angels, demons, gods. On backward worlds, Korvath continued, these myths helped maintain social order, but they lack any factual or biological basis. For instance, humans once believed in creatures called angels, beings of radiant energy with feathered appendages. Laughable, yes. Laughter erupted among the alien cadets. A reptilian cadet hissed, feathers. Imagine. As if biology would waste energy growing useless decorations on a weapon of war. Another thumped his tail. And they're demons, creatures of fire and hatred. Primitive fear, nothing more. Aaron Vale said nothing. She only sat there, hands clasped on the table, the faintest smile on her lips. The professor turned to her. Lieutenant Vale, perhaps you could enlighten us. Humans are quite attached to their myths, are they not? Aaron looked up, her gray eyes steady. Yes, Professor. We are. And yet, the Valor said, pacing closer, your species still clings to these ancient illusions. Angels, demons, dragons, pure fiction. I trust you agree. She hesitated, then said softly, not exactly. When the class ended, several cadets followed her into the atrium, amused and curious. The Tarsari scholar Lether clicked his mandibles. You do not truly believe those stories are real, do you, human? Surely you are more rational than your ancestors. Aaron smiled faintly. My ancestors believed in a lot of things. Fire. Flight. The impossible. The group exchanged glances, unsure whether she was mocking them back. Humans, one muttered, always so dramatic. Aaron shrugged. You laugh because you've never seen what we've seen. And what, Lether sneered, have you seen that we have not? Aaron turned away, eyes distant. I served in the Orion Rift campaign. I've seen things the galaxy doesn't have words for. They left her then, whispering among themselves. But one alien stayed behind. A quiet figure, Captain Karel Tharn, a decorated officer of the Dareth fleet. His skin shimmered like obsidian glass, his eyes reflected starlight itself. He was not mocking. He was curious. Lieutenant, he said softly, what did you see? Aaron looked up at him for a long time. Then she said, not here. Not in daylight. That night, Karel followed her into the underlevels of the War College, places where access required clearance and silence. The archive vault was filled with relics, armor, weapons, data shards, and sealed fragments from battlefields across the Orion Rim. Aaron unlocked a private chamber. The lights flickered on, revealing a glass containment unit. Inside lay a fragment of metal, no larger than a book, yet pulsing faintly with golden light. Strange inscriptions crawled across its surface, not carved but grown, like living veins of light. Karel stared. What is that? Aaron stepped closer. Recovered from the ruins of Epsilon 9. A battlefield. The official record calls it unidentified energy source. The troops who found it called it something else. And what did they call it? She met his gaze. An angel's wing. Karel frowned. Surely, you don't mean that literally. Aaron touched the control pad. The containment field shimmered, and suddenly a holographic projection bloomed above it, soldiers running, screaming, plasma fire tearing through blackened skies. A massive alien dreadnought loomed overhead, then something brighter than the sun cut through the darkness. A figure appeared, impossibly tall, radiant, its form composed of living light. Wings of energy stretched outward, scattering entire fleets like dust. The audio crackled with static and awe. One of the human soldiers shouted through the comms. It's here. The thing from the old books. It's on our side. Karel's jaw tensed. A human weapon? Aaron shook her head. We don't have weapons like that. Never did. The projection ended. Silence filled the vault. Karel finally spoke. You believe this was divine? I don't know, Aaron said. But when it appeared, the enemy fleet broke retreat. Sensors couldn't identify the energy source. Our scientists said it wasn't plasma, wasn't radiation, wasn't anything they knew. She looked at him. And then it vanished. Like it was never there. Karel paced around the containment field. You're kind. You always find meaning in chaos. Perhaps this was a temporal distortion, or a hyperspace bleed from a nearby rift. Aaron gave a dry laugh. You sound like our analysts. They said the same thing. Until one of the survivors started glowing. He froze. Glowing? She nodded slowly. He was dying, burned beyond help. But his body regenerated, flesh turning into light. He spoke a language no translator could process. Then he burned away, leaving only dust. Karel stepped back, shaken. And you have proof? I was there, she whispered. That's proof enough for me. Days passed, and Karel could not stop thinking about it. He studied the report, ran analysis on the relic, and even requested access to the classified Epsilon 9 data logs. One night, unable to sleep, he returned to the vault. He stood before the artifact, alone. The light pulsed, as though aware of his presence. He reached out, and the field flickered. A whisper filled the chamber, not sound, but thought. You mock what you do not understand. Karel recoiled, his chest tightening. Who's there? The voice was calm. I am what they call a myth. What you called fiction. The light expanded, forming the faint silhouette of a humanoid figure, wings of energy unfolding behind it, haloed in starlight. Karel dropped to one knee, trembling. What are you? Once, I was a guardian. Then your wars tore the veil open. I watched humanity rise, fall, and rise again. You've forgotten what you used to be. He could not move, could hardly breathe. Why show yourself to me, he whispered. Because you laughed. The light flared, and vanished. When he could see again, the vault was dark. The containment field was shattered. And Karel's hands glowed faintly with the same golden light. The next morning, alarms rang across the war college. Aaron ran through the corridors toward the lower decks, where containment locks had failed. She found Karel kneeling beside the broken chamber, pale and silent. Captain, she shouted. What happened? He looked up. His eyes burned with light. It spoke to me. Aaron froze. You saw it? I mocked your myths, he said softly. I told my people that belief was weakness. But I was wrong. He looked at his trembling hands. This is no human trick. It chose me. Aaron stepped closer. Then maybe it wanted you to understand. Karel turned toward her. Understand what? That myths aren't lies, she said quietly. They're memories. The Galactic Council soon arrived to investigate. They demanded explanations, confiscated the relic, and declared the event a containment failure. But rumors spread faster than censorship. Some said Kal-El was infected by alien tech. Others whispered that he had been blessed. Within weeks, soldiers across the fleet began reporting visions, wings in the smoke, voices in the void, impossible light in the darkness. The galaxy grew uneasy. And humanity, once mocked for its ancient faith, became an enigma once more. Months later, Kal-El vanished during a mission beyond known space. His ship was found drifting near the edge of a dying star, every system offline, every crewmember gone. Only one thing remained, a message, recorded in his voice. They were right. The humans. The myths, they were not stories. They were warnings. Something sleeps between the stars, watching us all. And when the light comes again, we will remember what we once were. The message ended with static, and the faint echo of wings. In the silent halls of the War College, Aaron Vale stood before the empty containment unit. A single feather-shaped scar of light remained on the floor, glowing faintly, resisting decay. She smiled sadly and whispered, "Told you we weren't making it up." Then she walked away, her reflection fading into the light.